Hello students. So in the previous class we were talking about that of the molecular mass. Molecular mass, it means the mass of a molecule. It was very similar to that of the atomic mass, students. In the atomic mass we have to find the relative atomic mass, and that will be equals to the 1 atom upon 1/12th mass of the carbon-12 isotope atom. The same thing here with that of the molecular mass. In case of a molecular mass, we have to find the mass of the molecule, and that will be equals to the mass of a one molecule of a compound upon 1/12th mass of the carbon-12 isotope atom. We have also studied that how can we find the molecular mass of the element, students? So for that, if we are knowing the atomic mass, then we will take the atomic mass, multiply with the number of the atoms, and then we will add both the total molecular mass or both the atomic mass together to find that of the molecular mass. We have seen some of the questions, some of the numericals that is related to the molecular mass. And not only the molecular mass, we are able to find that of the formula unit mass. So formula unit mass is what? The mass of that formula. Okay, so if suppose here carbon dioxide is given, so to find the mass of this carbon dioxide, to find the mass of this formula, that is the formula unit mass. So here we know that carbon is 12, oxygen, number of atom of the oxygen is here 2, so we will write here 2 into what is the atomic mass of the oxygen, that will be 60, so it will be equals to 32. So 12 plus 32 equals to 44U. Okay, so this one is what? This is, by this we are able to find the formula unit mass. Likewise, we had also seen the meaning of the molecular mass. Now, let me tell you, student, the molecular mass, to find the molecular mass or to find that of the formula unit mass is very important when we will solve the questions which is related to that of the mole concept. So, if suppose we have to find the mole of any of the compound, then the molecular mass, if we are knowing the molecular mass, then it will be easy to formulate it and find the mole of that compound. Now today we will start with the another topic, and that is to find the formula, how we will make the formula, and for that we should know the term, and that is valency. So if you are knowing valency, it will be very easy for us to find the formula of the compound. Now to understand that formula, or what is a formula. See student, if suppose a formula is given, that is H2. If we talk about that of the hydrogen gas. So hydrogen gas or hydrogen formula is H2. Okay, so here what are the things that we are seeing? We are seeing that one H is there. This H is the symbol which represents the element, and that is hydrogen. And here 2, subscript 2 is given there, which shows that 2 hydrogen elements are combined together. Okay, so this is what, this is the number of atoms which is present in that of the or number of atoms which form this hydrogen. Or we can say that here 2 hydrogens are there, and these 2 hydrogens, they combine together to form the hydrogen molecule. So by looking at this only, you are able to tell that this hydrogen, this is a hydrogen molecule, and this hydrogen molecule consisting of 2 atoms in it. Okay, so with the help of this symbol, with the help of this subscript, you are able to give a brief representation of this formula, of this molecule. So by this we can understand that of the chemical formula. So chemical formula, we can understand it like the brief representation of the molecule by writing the symbol and putting subscript at below. Okay, so if we are writing it, so if you are representing the formula, it means we are actually explaining, or we are giving the brief representation of that of the compound or the molecule by writing the symbol. The symbol tells that hydrogen is attached with it, and two subscript which gives the information that how many atoms, what are the numbers of the atoms are attached with this hydrogen. So chemical formula, it gives the brief representation of that of the molecule, which explain what is present in that of the formula. Now to understand that how can we find the formula of a compound, we should understand the term, and that is valency. Valency is that which help us to find the formula of a compound. So we can define valency, that is valency is equals to combining capacity of an, okay, so the combining capacity of an element we will say that is a valency of that element. How, student? You can understand with the help of an example, that is nitrogen. So the combining capacity of the nitrogen is 3, and thus it combined with 3 hydrogen atom and form NH3. So in case of ammonia, in case of NH3, the combining capacity or the valency of this nitrogen is 3, and thus it combined with 3 hydrogen atom. If we take an example of a water, student, in case of a H2O. So if we talk that what is the combining capacity of this oxygen, so the combining capacity of the oxygen is 2, thus it combined with 2 hydrogen atom. Okay, so the combining capacity of this oxygen is 2. So by this we can see the valency of the different elements. So if you see, student, we will understand the valency of that of the hydrogen is equals to 1. Valency of the oxygen is equals to 2. Valency of that of the nitrogen is equals to 3. Okay, so likewise if you see that in the book it is given the different valencies of the different elements. Okay. Now student, if suppose we are looking for the valency of the ions. So yesterday we had discussed about the ions also. Ions, cation is there and an anion is there. Okay, so if suppose we have to find the valency of a cation. Cation, it means a positive charge is there. Okay, so sodium, it is having the charge that is plus. If we talk about the zinc, it is having the charge that is plus 2. Or if we talk about that of the Pb, that is also plus 2. Okay, so what is the charge present here? Charge is 1 plus is there. It means only 1 plus is there. So we will write the valency that is 1. How many plus is there? That is 2 plus. So valency of the zinc will be 2. Pb, that is 2 plus. So valency it will be 2. So this shows that if we want to find the valency of a cation, whatever the charge given on that of the particular ion will determine the valency also. Okay, or valency of that of the cation. If suppose we talk the valency of that of the anion. So in case of a valency of anion, if suppose a chlorine is there. So chlorine minus, bromine is also minus, then if you see the other one, oxygen is there, that is 2 minus, PO4 that is 3 minus. Sulfate is there, SO4, that is 2 minus. So you see here student, what is the charge given here? That is minus 2. Here it is given minus 1. Here it is given minus 1. Here it is given minus 2 and minus 3. So the charge that is given on that of the particular ion will determine the valency of that particular ions. So the sulfate valency, it will be 2. If we talk about that of the chlorine, its valency will be 1. If we talk about the valency of the bromine, that is also 1. Or the valency of the oxygen is 2 and that of the PO4 is 3. So basically what does that mean? That whatever the charge is given on that particular anion or cation or ion will determine the valency also. So it is very easy to find the valency of that of the ion if suppose the charge is mentioned there. If you are knowing the what is the charge it is carried by that of the particular cation and anion. So it will be very easy to find the valency of that particular ion. Okay, so by this we are able to find the formula of any of the compound. Now student, you see here that when we talk about that of the valency is what the combining capacity of the element. Cation is what and anion is what which carry the charge, and whatever the charge is carried by that of the cation and the anion, that will determine the valency. Now if suppose you have to find the valency just looking at it, or if you're not knowing that what is the combining capacity or what is the exact cation or what is the exact charge is carried by that of the particular atom, then how will you find that of the valency? So for that we have to go a little bit further to understand it, and that is we have to understand the configuration. Don't get confused with that of the configuration student, although this is given in the structure of atom, but to understand the valency and to find the valency in a very easy way so that you will be able to give formula to of a compound, you must understand the configuration. Now what is a configuration student? You see here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So up to 1 to 20 elements are there, and this is actually the atomic number of all these elements. Okay, so atomic number 1 to 20 is given here, and now when we configure it, when we divide it, and then we will be able to find the valency of all of these particular elements. Now how we will divide it? So to configure it, there is one formula, and that is we will always write. Actually, these atoms consisting of the electron, proton and neutron, and electron is basically present at the outermost shell. Okay, so this is the atom. If this is the atom, this atom is what? It is having a proton in it, and the electrons is also present. You all know the atom is basically divided into electron, proton and neutron. These electrons, these are basically present at the outermost shell of this atom. Okay, so they are present at the outermost shell of the atom. Okay student, so if it is present in the outermost shell of the atom, means that the electrons, they are revolving around that of the atom. So proton is present at the center and electrons revolve around it. How they get discovered, how they are arranged like that, we will discuss in the next chapter. Now our focus is only to find the valency. Okay, so electrons, they are revolving around us, around it. So these electrons are not only present up to here, but there are different layers of the different circles are present, which is present around that of the proton, or which is present to that of the center of the atom. Okay, so these are, we call it as a shells. We use the term for it, and that is shells. So these shells basically consisting of electron in it. Okay, let me repeat it again, that this is the center of that of the atoms. These center is consisting of the nucleus, or we can say this is the where the proton is basically present. Electrons, it revolves around it, and around that of the proton there are different circles which we call as shells are present, where the different number of electrons are present in it. Maybe here it is 2 or a 7 or a 6, like that different electrons are present in that of the different shell. Now, these electrons which is present in the shells, they are properly arranged. It is not like that they are randomly arranged. No, they are properly arranged. It means that every shell has decided that what number of electron will be present here. Okay, so now why I am discussing this? Because this will explain the configuration only. So, the division of the cells, basically the shells, they are divided into K, L, M, N. It means that around that particular center of the atom, there are 4 shells are present around the nucleus, around that of the center. Okay, so they are divided into K, L, M, N. And these cells, the number of electrons present in these shells are fixed. It means if we talk about the K is having the number of electron, that is 2. N is having the number of electron, that is 8. M is also having 8. N is also having 8. So only the K shell is there which is having the that of the number of electron 2, while all other shells which is present around that of the center of the atom consisting of 8 electron. Now, the tendency of an atom is always like that it used to complete its octet, okay, except that of the hydrogen and helium. Hydrogen and helium, they only want to complete their duplet, not octet, just because of their atomic number. Now, let me tell you how is it possible. Now, see here, student. This hydrogen is having only one atomic number. So, if we talk about this, so this is the K element. So atomic number is 1, it means only one electron is present here. Atomic number, it means number of electron. Okay. So if atomic number is 1 here, so number of electron which is present in the K shell will be 1 only. Because you see that there is no other electron present in the hydrogen. So only one electron will be present in this shell. If we talk about the helium, students, so helium is having the atomic number 2, so only number of electron present in the helium is 2, so it will enter in the same shell, that is 2. Okay. Now if we talk the atomic number of that of the 3, so 3 is having 3, it means 2 electron, means the number of electron present in the lithium is 3. Now see here, the lithium is having 3 electrons, so 2 of the electrons will enter into the K shell, because K can have only 2 electrons only. Okay? It means after 2 electron, it will enter to that of the L shell. So the 1 electron which remain after it will goes to the L shell. Okay, so 2 electrons will goes to the K shell, and 1 electron which is left goes to that of the L shell. Like that, you can understand with the other one also. Like if we take that of the carbon. So carbon is having 6 electron, atomic number is 6, so electron will be 6. So the first 2 electron of the carbon will goes to the K shell, while 6 minus 2, how much electron is left? That is 4. So 4 electron will goes to that of the L shell. Like that only these shells, they are likewise these atomic number get confused. Okay. So basically why I am explaining this, student, it will give you the valency. Valency is the combining capacity, and it totally depends upon that of the number of a valence electron present in it. Now, if we talk about that of the oxygen, so oxygen atomic number is 8. Okay, so 8 atomic number, it means 8 electron is present in it. Okay, 8 electron is present in it, it means at first shell 2 electron will move, and rest of the electron, that is 6 electron, will goes to the other shell. Now here it is 2, 6. The electronic configuration of the oxygen is 2, 6. Now every element is having the tendency to complete its octet. It means at the last shell it wants to complete its octet. It means it wants to be 8. Okay, remember that last one it always want to be 8. Okay, because 8 will give the stability to that of the element. Okay, now see here, if we talk about that of the oxygen atom, so you see here student, 2 is there and 6 is there. 6, it means what, how much electron it needed to complete its octet, that is a 2. Okay, 8 minus 6 is equal to 2. So the valency of the oxygen, it will be 2. Okay. We can understand with the other examples also, like if we talk about that of the fluorine. In case of a fluorine student, fluorine is equals to 9. So the number of electron present in it is 9. Then if we configure it, then it will be 2 in the first cell and the rest of will goes to the L shell. Okay, so 2 and 9 minus 2, it will be 7. Still it needs one more electron to become 8. So there the valency of that of the fluorine is equals to 1. Okay, so this is the one method by which we can find the valency of the atom. Although if you have not understood about it, you will see the table, and with the help of the table you are able to find the valency of the cation and anion, and by this you can make the formula also. Configuration and everything is given in the next chapter, but since the valency it needs the electronic configuration, that's why I explained to you. Okay, so by this we are able to find the valency as well as we are able to formulate the formula of any of the compound. So you see here student, if suppose we have to make a formula of if we have to make a formula of a sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. So sodium chloride, sodium is there. So Na and chlorine, that is Cl minus. So this is Na positive and Cl negative. Now what is the valency of this sodium ion? That is plus 1. Sorry, that is 1. So charge is plus 1. So valency will be 1. Here in chlorine the charge is minus 1. So valency will be 1. Okay. Now to find the formula, to make the formula of the sodium chloride, what we will do, we will crisscross this valency to both of these atoms, both of these ions. So here this will be multiplied with this one. If chlorine here, so here it is only 1, here also it is 1, so it will be Na1 and Cl1, that will be equals to NaC. Okay, so by writing the valency we are able to find the formula. Likewise, we have to find the formula of that of the sodium bromide. So for sodium bromide, sodium is Na positive, bromine is an anion which is having minus. So here the charge of the sodium is plus 1, that of the bromine is minus 1, valency is 1 here, bromine valency is 1. We will crisscross to each other, then we will get what is Na1 and Br1, which will be equals to NaBr. So you have seen student that one thing I was doing while making the formula. That is, if you have to find the formula of any of the compound, at first you will write here the symbol. Okay, so symbol or anion or cation, whatever you have taken. Okay, so at first you will write here symbol, then if it is an ion, then you will write here charge, and finally valency. So you will write the valency of that particular atom or that particular element just below to it. Okay, so sodium valency is 1, bromine valency is 1. So we will write the valency of the sodium and that of the bromine just below to it. Next step, that we will crisscross each other's valency. The one will get multiplied with that of the Br. Their one, it will goes to that of the first one. So here the crisscross of the valency occur. And then we will formulate the formula of the compound. Here Na will be as a subscript of this, 1 will be the subscript of that of the sodium, and here 1 will be the subscript of that of the bromine. So Na1 Br1, it means that will be equals to NaBr. So by this we are able to find the formula. We will see some of more examples so that the concept will be very much clear to us. We will take another example like that of the methane. So methane is basically consisting of the carbon and hydrogen. So we will write here symbol, and the symbol will be equals to carbon, and here it is hydrogen. Okay. Then we will write the valency just below to this symbol. So the valency of that of the carbon is 4, and the valency of this hydrogen is 1. So, okay, they will crisscross each other, and here it will become C1, because 1 will going to be as subscript of the carbon, and here hydrogen 4 will going to be as a subscript of the, it will going to be multiplied with that of the hydrogen. So C1H4 will be the formula, or we will write it as a CH4. Okay, so the formula of that of the methane is CH4. If you see the another one like that of a calcium chloride, students. So in case of a calcium chloride, so you can see here the symbol, it will include calcium, that is Ca, and chlorine will also be there, that is Cl. Okay, now we will write the valency here. If it is an ion, then we will write the charged here and then valency. So the valency of the calcium, if you see this is a kind of an ion, so calcium ion will be Ca2 positive and chlorine is -1. Okay, so the valency of this calcium is 2 and the valency of this chlorine is 1. So now when we crisscross each other, it will becomes Ca1 Cl2 or CaCl2. Okay, so we will write the valency of this chlorine as a subscript of the first one, that is of the calcium, and the valency of the calcium as a subscript of that of the chlorine. Okay, so it will become Ca1 and Cl2. Now if we take the example of any of the polyatomic ions, student, polyatomic ions like that of the SO4. So SO4 is 2 minus, sulfate ion, okay, or carbonate. So carbonate is CO3 2 minus, or phosphate, that is PO4 3 minus. So what are these are the polyatomic ions. Let me show you once more. That is carbonate here. So carbonate is CO3 2 minus and PO4 3 minus. Okay, or hydroxide is there, so OH minus. So how to find the formula, or how to find the, how can we make the formula with these polyatomic ion? It is very simple, student. So if suppose we have to make the formula with that of the sulfuric acid. Okay. So in case of a sulfuric acid, or we will take example of a barium sulfate. So you see here, student, barium sulfate is there. So in barium sulfate, we will write here the symbol of the barium. The symbol of the barium is Ba. Okay. The sulfate is equals to SO4 2 minus. The charge on that of the barium is 2 positive. So the valency we will write here is the charge only. You know that in the ions we will write the charge as a valency. So the valency of the barium will be 2 and that of the sulfate is also 2. So we will crisscross each other and this will gives a Ba2 and SO4 whole twice 2 or BaSO4 because this 2 will going to cancel each other. Okay, so the formula of that of the barium sulfate is BaSO4. You can take an example of a sulfuric acid which is very common to us students. So in case of a sulfuric acid, symbol of that of the sulfuric acid, hydrogen is present in the sulfuric acid and sulfate is present. So the charge of that of the hydrogen ion is +1 and that of the sulfate is -2. So you can either write here charges and after that valency or simply by looking at the charge you can write the valency. Whatever the charge is present in that particular ion, that will be the valency of the ion. Now see here, charge here is +1, so the valency will be 1. Sulfate, that is -2, so valency will be 2. Now we will crisscross each other. So the formula, it will be H2. The valency of the sulfate will be the subscript of that of the hydrogen and sulfate, that is SO4, that will be SO4 1 or we can write it as a H2SO4. Okay, so this is the sulfuric acid and we are able to find the valency of that of the polyatomic ion and by which we are able to find the formula. Okay. So by knowing the different charges of the ions, we are able to find the valency also. Either you can find with the help of the configuration or if you are knowing the different charges of that particular ion, it will be very easy for you to find the formula of that of the particular compound. Then you simply have to first write the symbol and just below the symbol you have to write the charge or the valency. Then you will crisscross each other and by that you are able to find the formula of the different compound. Okay students?